Today, we're going to dig into how just a little bit of structure can make a massive difference in your life. We're going to see how one simple thing, planning, is the absolute key to taking back control. You ever have that feeling? Like time is just slipping through your fingers? You know you're moving, but you're not really sure where you're headed. It's this feeling of being adrift, and honestly, it's something a lot of us go through. So this question, it really just cuts right to the chase, doesn't it? It gets at that little voice in the back of your head that worries if you don't grab the wheel, you might just keep drifting forever. And that's exactly the problem we're going to tackle head on. And this? Well, this really puts it all into perspective. I mean, time is the one thing you can never, ever get back. Without a plan, you run the risk of looking back one day and just being filled with regret, wondering what could have been. But, and this is the important part, there's a way to make sure that doesn't happen. Okay, so let's flip this around. We've talked about the problem, now let's talk about the solution. See, planning isn't about being rigid or boring. It's about you defining what success actually looks like for you, and then building your own roadmap to get there. When you boil it all down, planning is actually a super simple two-step process. Seriously. First, you figure out where you want to go, that's the goal, and second, you just map out the steps to get there. That's it. It's all about being intentional. And listen, the benefits are huge, and they go way beyond just checking things off a list. When you have a plan, your confidence just skyrockets because you actually know what's next. Your stress levels drop because you've replaced all that uncertainty with a real sense of control. And all of that comes together to give you this amazing, crystal clear vision for your life. So we know we need goals. But here's the thing. Not all goals are created equal. If you really want your plan to work, your goals need to be smart. Think of this as the secret sauce that turns a vague wish into something you can actually achieve. The SMART framework is basically your blueprint for a great goal. First, it has to be specific. No more vague stuff like, I want to get in shape. Then it's got to be measurable, so you know when you've actually hit the target. It also needs to be achievable and realistic. You're setting yourself up to win here, not to fail. And finally, it has to be time-bound. Give yourself a deadline. That's what creates that focus and urgency you need. All right, check out this perfect example. Lose 5 kilograms of my weight in 2 months. Let's break it down. Is it specific? Yep, 5 kilos. Is it measurable? You bet. Achievable and realistic? For most people, totally. And is it time-bound? Yes, 2 months. See how that transforms a simple wish into a concrete, actionable plan? It's a game changer. Now, this next idea is so powerful. Big goals can feel really intimidating, right? The trick is to break them down. You take that huge, year-long ambition and you shrink it all the way down into small, easy things you can do every single day. So let's say your big goal for the year is to read 12 books. When you first think about it, that might sound like a lot. It can even feel a little overwhelming, like, where do I even start? But watch what happens when we break it down. What is 12 books a year, really? It's just 1 book a month, and suddenly, that huge, scary goal feels completely possible. It's not a mountain anymore, it's just one simple thing to do each month. And this quote just nails it. Everything you want to achieve your entire life, it's all built one day at a time. The things you do today are literally the foundation for everything that comes next. So here's the practical advice for today. Don't overload yourself. Just pick 3, or maybe even just 1 or 2, essential tasks that move you closer to your goal. And here's the key. Start with the most important one first thing while your energy and focus are at their absolute peak. Okay, so we've got the mindset, we've got the strategy. Now let's talk about the actual tools. Here are a couple of practical things you can use to put your plan into action and really get control of your day. This is the priority matrix, and it is a brilliant way to figure out what to do next. Let's walk through it. Okay, top left. If something is important and urgent, like a doctor's visit, you do it now. No question. Now, top right. This is for stuff that's important but not urgent. This is where your biggest goals live, like working on your personal project. You have to schedule time for these. Bottom left is urgent but not important. Think of random messages that pop up. Deal with them quickly and move on. And finally, the bottom right. Not important and not urgent. This is the mindless scrolling, the time wasters. And the strategy here is simple. Just ignore it. And hey, you don't have to do all this with just pen and paper. There are some fantastic apps out there that can help. Tools like Microsoft To Do, Google Keep, or TickTick are perfect for organizing your daily tasks and keeping those big, important goals right in front of you. This quote from Ibrahim Al-Fiqi really just sums everything up. Could you succeed without a plan? Maybe. But you're basically choosing to play the game on the hardest difficulty setting. A plan doesn't mean you won't face obstacles, but it means you'll be ready for them when you do. And that really is the ultimate point here. Planning is the root, and time management, that's the fruit it produces. When you finally master your plan, you master your time. And time, well, you could argue that's the most valuable thing we have in life.
So I'll leave you with this question. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today, right now, what is the very first SMART goal you are going to create a plan for? It all starts now. The power is completely in your hands.